Welcome to this podcast for Monday in Holy Week in our series All Shall Be Well. We are following the journey of Jesus through his passion, his death and resurrection, and drawing upon the writings of 14th century mystic Julian of Norwich. As we enter into Holy Week, following Jesus' entry into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday, we have this sense of being in Jerusalem, in the holy city, in the city where the temple stands, physically representing the presence of God to the people of Jewish faith. We look today at the God that Julian has discovered in her experience. What is God's nature, and how do we, as human beings, relate to God? The God Julian discovers. Julian's experiences of God through her revelations had a profound impact upon her. She has a deep need not only to draw upon them in her own prayer and reflection for years, but also to share them with others. She shows in her writings she is aware that by doing this she runs a risk. A woman untrained theologically writing of God could easily be accused of heresy. The logic of the day might have argued that no one other than a priest could do this. Yet Julian writes. She writes of her own experience, letting the experience speak. But she goes further. She writes about the conclusions that she draws from her experiences. And there is this sense with her that the experience of God is so powerful that she has to share it, despite the risk for herself. What sort of God is this? Well, here are two quotes from early in her writings, which give glimpses of the God she has encountered. We read in the 5th chapter of her writings. Our good Lord showed a spiritual sight of his familial love. I saw that he is to us everything that is good and comforting for our help. He is our clothing, who wraps and enfolds us for love, embraces and shelters us, surrounds us for his love, which is so tender that he may never desert us. And so in this sight I saw that he is everything which is good, as I understand. And a little later on she writes, and in this he showed me something small, no bigger than a hazelnut, lying in the palm of my hand, as it seemed to me. And it was as round as a ball. I looked at it with the eye of my understanding and thought, what can this be? I was amazed it could last, for I thought that because of its littleness it would suddenly have fallen into nothing. And I was answered in my understanding, it lasts and always will, because God loves it, and thus everything has being through the love of God. In this little thing I saw 3 properties. The first is that God made it. The second is that God loves it. The third is that God preserves it. But what did I see in it? It is that God is the creator and the protector and the lover. For until I am substantially united to him, I can never have perfect rest or true happiness. Until, that is, I am so attached to him that there can be no created thing between my God and me. These passages give a good flavour of what has emerged in Julian's visions. They offer her rich and powerful images that speak of a divine reality right into the human condition. God, who is both loving and intimate, enfolding us like clothing, tender and good. God, who is creator, protector and lover of a tiny little thing in the vastness of creation. God, who is this loving protector and enfolder, enfolding her and each one of us. She goes on to reveal the sense of the ultimate goal in life, that is, this true happiness that comes, as she puts it, from attachment to God, where there is nothing that separates her and God. And so her writing resonates with Paul's epistle to the Romans, where he writes how nothing can separate us from the love of God. Julian points us to a state of union with God as being the ultimate end or purpose and meaning of life. So I invite you to ponder these points in your ongoing reflection. You can find a document with these points if you go to my website www.soulspark.online/Holy Week 2021, where Holy Week 2021 is all one word and all lowercase. The document there can be downloaded for you to refer to as you wish. But the points for reflection that I invite are these. To reflect on these themes of Julian, the imagery of enfolding, the image of the thing the size of a hazelnut, this sense of happiness, true happiness being union with God. What do those arouse in you? Do they bring to the surface your needs, your hopes, your longings for God in your life? Notice what emerges. Or to dwell with one or other of these images of Julian, letting them inspire your imagination, whether it is the enfolding of God, the little thing, or union with God. To focus on God enfolding you like warm, soft, comfortable clothing. In your mind's eye, letting yourself be clothed by God's enfolding, resting in that hold and letting yourself receive its gift for you. And having done that, giving time to respond to God from your heart about how that has been. Or ponder yourself as the little thing, the size of a hazelnut, taking time with any or all of those 3 points she makes about it. The sense of God the Creator who made you. God the Lover who loves you. God the Sustainer who looks after you. Rest in whatever sense comes to you. And then, when you're ready, respond from your heart to God. Or ponder this idea of true happiness being in union with God, where nothing separates you from God. What longings do you have for this closeness to God? And if you can't find a longing for it, perhaps you long to long for it. Notice what it is in you that would like to want to have that closeness with God. Find ways of expressing your longings in your own words, speaking to God or to Jesus.